to see the website? Or
I'm not seeing the website either.
Yeah, I'm not either.
It just says club secretary on it.
Oh,
Naomi, that's what I have too. I have your PowerPoint, not the website.
okay. Okay, hold on. Let me get the website.
I think I have the website.
Well, that's strange. Okay, do you see the website?
Oh, now,
Laura?
yeah.
Got it now.
Okay. Carol?
Got it.
Okay, great. Okay, so on the home page, so it's rotaryd5000.org, yeah. So on the home page, we have our district. So here we have the organizational chart. So if you wanted to get a hold of someone, you can click on their name and it'll send an email to them. So say you wanted to send an email to Mark Harbison, you click on his name, a contact form comes up, and you type your question on there. So you can always reach the district people. And Eric is looking for new leads. So as he fills in his positions, you'll see this become more robust, and you'll see more people that you have as resource people. Okay. You can also see our history. So we have the history of Rotary in Hawaii. We need to update that. Roz, maybe you can help us with that. But if someone wanted to know how we started in 1915, it has kind of the story in our history. District policies, we have our district policy manual in there. So you can check it out if you need to see what positions do or what youth protection is. And what the policy is for our district. So that is updated as of this year. Okay. Then we have our islands. So each island has its own page. And so you can talk to your AG and populate the page with pictures and your calendar, events. You can put that in. And so we really need help with populating the page. But Wynn thought that if we had a page for each island, then you don't have to hunt around and sort things, that you would be able to find things that's pertinent to your island. Okay. And then we have a membership tab. So the membership tab, you can find membership information for clubs. So you can find resources, guides when you click on that goldish looking words. Also, you know this Rotary Basics? If you look at this Rotary Basics information page to give to new members or prospective members, it has a lot of good information about Rotary as a whole and all of our programs and the avenues of service, and it's a really good resource for this Rotary Basics. Okay, and then what is Rotary? You get basic information in there. So hopefully we'll get more resources onto the page from the membership committee. And Nalani Flynn is the chair, the district chair for membership. Okay, and Carol, you're on that committee too, yeah, for membership. So that's good that we have a lot of people hitting all of the spots that we need to work on. Okay, then we have foundation. So you have about the foundation, Rotary Foundation, and grants. So grant information, all of the grant forms, the grant application, the MOUs, they're all in there, as well as the information on global grants. Then we have our service, avenues of service. So each one of these you can click on and find information about that avenue. And then Eric's Bali project information is in this international service tab. Youth service, we have RILA information, youth exchange, HRYF information. Okay. For news, we have the calendar. And hey, are you guys familiar with this yellow pages thing? So Yellow Pages is where your members can post their company free. So Laura, if you wanted to put something about your scholarships or something, you put in the search words and you sign up, and it's free to list your company. So let your members know that they're.
Where did you
Where was
find
this?
it? Yeah.
Okay, we were on news and then
News.
Yellow Page. Yeah, under
Oh,
news.
that's interesting. Oh, good. I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool because if you need a plumber or a painter, you can go see what Rotarian, because you have to log in. These are our district Rotarians
Oh,
that are
that's
in this.
great.
Yeah,
And
it's
club
really great.
stories and events. That's good too.
So the Yellow Pages, if someone wants to put in a banner, they can pay $30 a year, and then when someone logs in, their information can go up there. But that $30 banner thing helps to pay for this service. We pay another district for this Yellow Page service. Okay, and then we got district conference information, and then the 2020 convention information, and the volunteer link. So. Okay, that was a quick run through on our district website. And then we have right here the President Officer resource page where you can find things that we have at the assemblies, the calendar, all kinds of information. The dues information is here, district shirt. Okay, so when you want to see what the calendar is for the district, you click on the district calendar, and this is what comes up. And so these are tentative dates, but you can see when we're going to have the fall seminars, when we're going to have the pets training in San Jose, pre-pets. And so this is kind of where you can find information to make your own calendars. Okay, so this will change when we find that we can't do a seminar on Maui, for instance. Okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, are you seeing this club secretary now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get started with this club secretary thing. Okay, you know, the club secretary is really, really important to the club. You kind of hold everything together, have the meetings, keep the calendar, keep the minutes. You know, really important for you to be the anchor in the club. So we're going to cover secretary duties, the roster, like adding, terminating members from the list, putting in executives, and then at the end I'll go through for club runner clubs, creating bulletins and stories. Okay, so for duties, and you know, kind of every club does their own thing, and sometimes the secretary does treasurer duties and other things, but basically it's keeping the records, the membership records, so keeping the members' information up to date, the calendar, the district activities, minutes. So Rotary International wants us to keep minutes written and provided to members within 60 days of the meeting. So good to keep good minutes and have a folder. So if you can make a folder with your information, the Constitution, the bylaws, all of the records, and then every year kind of pass it on to the next secretary, so they have a record of what we did last year, and there's kind of a continuity without having to rebuild everything. Okay, so for reporting, we have attendance, and not everybody does attendance, but and the district is not requiring attendance, but sometimes the members, they want to keep track because they want 100% attendance records. So if your club wants to keep attendance, or if you keep it on the club runner, then by all means, please keep the attendance records. Membership changes. Okay, so there was kind of a debate about when to do this. So Rotary International wants you to do it within like 2 weeks, within the month that you do it, because they want to keep the numbers accurate. But sometimes you want to keep them on so that they can continue to get their Rotarian magazine since they paid for it through their dues. And sometimes you're hoping that they can come in. But there's a kind of a balance on that. You should try and retain members. Maybe you can make them a honorary member, but you want to make sure that you keep your roster pretty much up to date. For officers and chairs, we need that information by January 31st. So if you still have some openings because the year just started, you might want to see who's the foundation membership chair avenues and put them into the website. Okay? Okay, so on the district website, we kind of ran through.
I have a question for you.
Yes,
You
Roz.
know, for the positions that they have, what if you have co-chairs? I notice that there's not any way to list that.
Some of the positions you can put a co-chair, but you can put other positions. So there are two places to say what the position is. So you can put one is other, and the other one you can say is a co-foundation chair, for instance. If it's a common thing to have co-chairs, like for instance the 2020 convention, we have co-chairs, so you're able to put it in twice. So if we have a common need to put a second position, we can always add it into the club runner to add on a co-chair. Okay, and then if maybe one takes a lead, because for foundation membership, they get information emailed to them. You might want to put their name in, and then maybe the next one takes the lead the next quarter. You can change out the names anytime. Okay. On the website, you can also put your club information, where you're meeting, the time of day. So if you're changing any of that, please update the website, because the map is based on the address and the zip code that you have in your club profile. Okay, so the club secretary, the people who have access, who are able to change things, would be your president, your secretary, your treasurer. You folks have access to change that information on the district website. If you have a club runner service on your club level, then you need to manually change the access codes. For the district, the position dictates what access. On the club side, it's you need to change it manually, because for clubs, a lot of times the people don't change as often, or you might have someone who always has access, even though maybe they're not the secretary. Hey, by the way, you can add in someone as executive secretary, and they would have access as well. So say someone is your regular secretary, they do the minutes, but then you have someone else who might help with taking care of updating things, then you can name them as your executive secretary. So that's kind of a hint for some help on the website. Okay, so let's see. On the membership information, you can add, terminate members, update their profiles, and when you do it into Club Runner, so say you do it on the Club Runner, it uploads to the District Club Runner. The District Club Runner uploads to Rotary International. So as long as we're in sync. If your club does not have Club Runner, because you're not required to have Club Runner, you can go directly into the district website and then get that information. It'll upload to the Rotary International. Okay, so it's really important to have the correct email address, because that's where all the messages go. But for Rotary International, the email address is the username, and the regular address is where the Rotarian magazine gets mailed. So maybe once in a while you might want to check with your members to make sure they're getting their magazine, because if they're not getting the magazine, maybe the address is not correct. So you want to try and update that. Okay? So here's the website.
I
Yes, Laura.
I have a question. So can you explain that again, how one website, like the district up, it goes into the Club Runner, or is it the other way around, and then it goes into Rotary International? So how does that work? I was trying to understand that.
So we're able to say, so on Rotary side, Rotary International side, we can say the vendor we're using is Club Runner. And then on the district side, we say, okay, we accept that. And so the club has to say okay to link up these two websites together. So on the Rotary International side, so someone already did it for your club. They went to the Rotary International website and said, okay, Club Runner is our vendor. And they checked the box. Okay, so that gives them authorization to talk with our website. So when you update your roster on the club district website for member information, for officer information, that information will upload to Rotary International. So you don't need to do it on both sides.
Oh, okay. So the
Yeah.
district uploads to Rotary International.
Yep, and it's automatic. The two websites will talk to each other.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so going back to the district website, when you get to the website to log in, and everybody, when they get into the website, when you put in a new member, they automatically will get a password. Okay, so anybody can log in, well, any member can log in. So you go to member login, okay, and then you get this login place where you put your username and your password. And so someone who is new, this is the first time, they click on new user, an email gets emailed to them, and then they can set up their password. Okay, or if someone is already in there, they can say, I forgot my password. And guess what? As secretary, president, or treasurer, you can, if they don't know how to do that, you can help them by going into their profile. You log in, you go into the profile, and you can reset their password for them. Okay, so it's very easy, and then it's pretty much automatic when they click on forgot password. Okay, so once they did their password, they're going to come back to the home page, and it looks exactly like the home page again. And so you think that nothing happened, but what changes is on the top right. Now it has your name and it says member area. Okay, so to get into the admin part for officers, you click on member area, and then you see this blue thing. That's what you're going to see next is the admin. Okay, so to add members or terminate members, you go to for clubs. Yeah, so for clubs, and then you go to member list, and then you add, right here it says add new members. So that's how you add someone in. So you add them in with their email address and classification, and then it'll talk to Rotary International and get their member ID number in. Okay? So
that membership list, or does it download from RI?
This membership list it's already in the district website, but it is information coming from Rotary International. So your club should have the same list that Rotary International has. And if not, then we need to just match up and see why it's not syncing. Because if the information is not exactly the same, it's not going to link. So for instance, if you have someone, Robert, and you put him in as Bob, and then on Rotary International side, he's Robert, it's not going to match up. So it's got to be exactly the same. Okay, so for Rotary International, the type of member categories there are only two. There's only active and honorary. Okay, so when you put them into the roster, you need to select, are they active or honorary? Okay, so the different types of membership categories we have, you have the corporate membership, associate, and family membership. So those are a little trickier to handle because you need to identify a person. So if you have an associate, they actually, if they're not paying dues, then they're not really an active member, and you would just put them in as like a friend and not an active member in the roster. And then if they're not active, Rotary International will not charge you dues for them. Corporate membership is when you have a business and say they have 3 people and they alternate, so it's different people being the active member at different times. Then you would just put one name in there, and that's the one that gets billed, although the company is making the payment. So you can have different categories. You just have to put into your bylaws. So, for instance, Sunrise, they have Honolulu Sunrise, they have categories for younger Rotarians, for the family member of someone, and so maybe it's at a reduced amount. And so maybe it doesn't cover meals or doesn't cover something. So you can have these additional categories if you want to have these other things, but you need to set your policy. Okay?
Do you input these people in the RI site?
No, you'd put them in your club runner, either the club side or the district side, as a friend or an associate, but they're not inactive. There's another location where you put these other friends of clubs. And so, you know, when you send out, if you have Club Runner, when you send out messages, you can make a group for these friends of clubs, or they can subscribe to a bulletin, and then they would get information from your website.
So if we don't have Club Runner.
Do you have another website? Do you have a website at all?
We have a Facebook page.
Okay. So, well, the Facebook page is good for information, but then if you don't have a club website, then you would do your information on the district website. Okay. So you want to keep your roster up to date, and then Rotary International will prepare the invoices as of July 1st and January 1st. So you need to make sure that your roster is accurate on those dates, because if you have someone in there that is quitting, you're going to get billed for it. And those invoices from Rotary International, they're not adjustable. They cannot revise it. So you're going to be billed for whatever it says on there. So I would suggest sending out your club invoices like June 1st or December 1st, so that people have a chance to pay by July 1st, January 1st, or an opportunity to say, hey, change my type of membership, or, I need, they just need to resign. Okay, so give that time for that information to go to Rotary International. And I would suggest right before July 1st, January 1st, check the Rotary International roster to make sure it's accurate. Yeah. Okay, new members added after those dates, Rotary International will prorate the dues. So you have somebody joining in August, the January invoice is going to count that person for 5 months. So you'll need to pay that prorated amount. Okay, every Rotarian has an ID number. If you need to know what your ID number is, you can look on the website, but also your magazine has your ID number. So you want to make sure when you add someone, if they are a transfer, they're a Rotarian like a couple years ago, they have a number. So you want to try and get that number and preserve that number, because they may have Paul Harris points on that number from before. So if you have someone like that who was a Rotarian before, go to Rotary International's website, the rotary.org, look them up, and where it says add, it's going to say, do you want to search for an existing person? And so you search for an existing member, find them, and just click on it, and that information will come down to the Rotary, our Rotary district website. But that way you preserve their number. Say you accidentally added them, and now this person has 2 numbers. What they need to do is call Rotary and explain. They'll look up the two numbers, see what kind of points, and then they'll consolidate it into one number. And it's usually the lower number that gets the points. Okay? Then every once in a while, there's this thing called RI member synchronization. And so when you click on that, that's when it forces our website to talk to Rotary International's website, and they're going to compare the two lists. And that's where it's going to say these people are in Club Runner, but they're not in Rotary, or these the way around, or these people are listed 2 times, and it'll say this is what you need to do to fix it. Sometimes you don't know how, so you kind of have to guess. Maybe I had one where it had a space after the name, so you couldn't see the space, right? But it's a character. So we had to delete the name, re-input it, and make sure it was exactly the same, and then it linked up. Okay, so anytime you have problems with that, you call Rotary International if you have 2 numbers you need to consolidate, or if you're having problems with the synchronization and you need to call Club Runner. Those people are really helpful, and you just call them or you send a ticket and email them. They'll respond eventually. But because of the time difference too, sometimes you don't get an answer right away. Okay, so here I'm going to show you how to update a member's information. So say you need to change the name from Bob to Robert. Yeah, you go into their profile, go for members, edit my profile, and then it's going to come up with their information, and then you can edit the information there. And don't forget to save. Okay? So you edit, you can put their picture, or they can put their picture, so they can actually get into their own profile. They can put their biography, they can put all of their classifications, if they're white hat or benefactor, bequest society, they can put all of those categories in themselves. They can change their own passwords, they can change the privacy, so every member is able to take care of their own information. So you might want to, if you want the information to be accurate, you might have a contest on who can fill out the most or put in their biography. Okay, so everyone can do their own. Okay, let's see, for executives. Does everybody have their election in December, or do you have it earlier? So the bylaws, constitutions for the clubs says we should be having the officer elections no later than December 31st. Okay, so right now you should have all of your officers and populate the district website with the officer positions. What Rotary International really needs to have is the president-elect, secretary-treasurer, foundation, membership. Okay, they need that information so that they can send information to those categories. The district would like to have your avenues of service, your club trainer, those people all identified so that your district chairs can communicate with them. So say there's something coming up for vocational training, vocational service, they can send an email to your avenue of service chair. Okay, so when you're electing the officers, you're going to elect the president-elect, right? Okay, so when you elect the president-elect this December, that person is going to be the president 2021-22, because the president for 2021 was actually your current PE, and they were elected last year. So I know it's a little confusing, but if you can try and get the president-elect done the year before, then they are prepared for taking the position, and pets when it comes up in March. We know who that person is. Okay. So it's going to look like this. Here's Wine-Eye. Okay, Carl's not on the line, but here's Wine-Eye.
I'm here.
You're going. Oh, Carl. Okay, so I picked yours because I could do the carryover for next year. Because when you carry over for next year, you don't have to input all of the positions. It takes all of the positions and it'll carry over for next year, and then it's a lot easier. So here you would add, so go to define club members on the top, yeah, and then when you add, so you say you have your international and your foundation chairs, you add new, and then the position will come up, and then it has a menu of all of your club members. You pick their name and then save it. And then you can always change it. If somebody is rotating, they're only going to take a quarter. You can always change the names yourself. So once you got the your officers in, and then you want to start next year's list because you want to put your president-elect's name in, you carry over next year. Yeah. So as long as it's highlighted is that blue color, you can click on that and then carry over all of the positions. It's a lot easier than trying to add them all individually. But you can if you want. Okay, so if you can populate the club executives, that would be great. Okay. Who does attendance? Who anybody?
We do, Metro.
You do it manually or by your club runner?
Well, we do both.
Okay, so district does not require doing the attendance, but if you need to do attendance, I wanted to cover a little bit about that. So it's by your bylaws on what your rules are. So if you're doing 3 weeks a month, then that's what your bylaws would say. So Rotary International has been very flexible on meeting dates and allowing options. There was a change from the Council on Legislation on makeups. Okay, so before makeups, you had to do it within 2 weeks of the missed meeting, right? Well, Rotary says as long as you do it in the same year, it can count. Yeah. So what counts for a makeup would be attending a service project, a Rotaract Interact meeting, convention, assembly. Those all count as a makeup. Okay. So big change. It has to be within the same year for makeups. Okay. Okay. So the resource page has a lot of information. We have the PowerPoints from the past assemblies. We have the district calendar in there. We have the invoice. So this invoice, the district invoice, you put your number of members into the box, and it will calculate how much you would pay the district. So it's for dues, district dues, and RI dues. So district dues goes to the Honolulu PO box, and RI dues goes to Illinois. Okay. So anytime you need to see the invoice, it's on that page for president and officer resources. And then if you find that you want other resources on there, and manuals, PowerPoints that you saw someplace, just let us know, and then we'll get it onto that page so that you can find things in one place. Okay, so the calendar, here's the calendar. We have fall seminars coming up, so I believe Sandy, Nalani, because fall seminars would be for membership and foundation, yeah. So Nalani, Laura, Sandy, they're going to be working with the AGs to get the location secured. Okay. So let's see, Pre-Pets is going to be March 15th on Oahu. one day, and then pre-pets, I'm sorry, that's pre-pets. And then pets would be March 6th through 8th in San Jose. District assemblies, we have more time to spread it out this year or next year because the district conference is only going to be one day and it's in June. Okay, so we got a little bit more time on that one. So what we'd like
pre-pet?
Pre-pets is for the president-elects to go to this training to get more basic information before they go to PETS. PETS is president-elect training in San Jose. So this is for your PEs.
Well, that's what I'm supposed to be. So, okay.
You're a PE, Laura?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
well,
I told
okay.
everybody they have to help me a lot.
Well, you know, we're going to have homework, and the pre-pets will help you get ready for pets. But what we would like everyone to do is to see what you need in your club on training, because assembly is where we can help you train your board. We always have secretary session, treasurer session, but you know, we can have new member sessions, sessions for your vocational youth service chairs, your interact chairs. So please be on the lookout on what your club members want in terms of training so that we can get that information to them at the training assembly in the spring. Okay. Okay, so for budgeted items, oh, sorry. What is that? Budgeted items. Sorry, I lost my screen. I lost my PowerPoint.
Yeah, we just saw it, but it went away.
Where did it go?
Yeah, where did it go? Sorry, that is so weird.
Is it gone? Totally?
That's budget item.
Yeah.
Are you on Zoom?
I'm on Zoom. Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't seen any of it.
What are
Okay.
you looking for?
Naomi, I'm
Budgeted items. You have budgeted items
That's
on
it.
your screen?
It's on there
Okay.
now.
That's there.
Yeah, it's on mine.
Okay. Okay, good, good. So the budgeted items, your president-elects, well, your presidents now, would already have this, and so they have kind of an estimate of how much it would cost for HRYF and dues and pre-pets and pets. So pets is, the price of pets is going up every year. But if you kind of budget $1,500 for airfare to go to San Jose, that's kind of what it's going to cost. Okay. So on the RI website, rotary.org/myrotary, you're going to find the Rotary Club Central goals. You can have your chairs sign up for newsletters. So, for instance, there's a leadership newsletter. There's one for youth service. There's one for different avenues of service, and so they get specific newsletters that go to their email, and it's on that specific topic. Then you can find your membership, foundation reports, project ideas. You can download manuals. A lot of great information on the website. Okay, so to sign in, you go to sign in my Rotary, and your email address is the username unless you change it. Okay, and for secretaries, you might want to go to see the district, your roster for your club, and the way that you get there is to go to manage, yeah, and then club administration. Club administration is where you're going to find a lot of categories. So you can see your invoice and the detail for your invoice, your membership data, update your club data. You can get reports on foundation and club growth. A lot of good reports in that club administration page. Okay, so again, the dues are based on the membership count, and they're going to email that invoice to the president, secretary, and treasurer. So someone should be able to get that invoice and make that payment on time. Okay, so very important to get accurate, correct email addresses. Okay, foundation reports you can find on there. You can find how much the contributions are. Your foundation chair can also get this information. There are forms. So when you send in donations, Rotary Direct, multiple people, you collected a lot of checks and you want to send it all at once instead of individual forms. They have that. Someone passed away or someone's birthday and you have other people who want to contribute in their name, that they have a form for that too. Okay, but always make sure you check off what category that donation is for. Okay. Also on the Rotary International website, there's a learning center. So you log in, you go to Learning and Reference, go to Learning Center. You can type in Secretary, and this is what you see. There's a webinar on club secretaries, club administration. There are several hundred webinars. So you can pass that information on to your board, that there are these really great webinars on that website. Okay. So Club Runner also has webinars. If you want to know how to do a bulletin, if you want to know how to change access levels, they have a help button on the website, and then a support center, and then you can get to their demos. They also have webinars that you can log into live during the month. So a lot of great information, but they're in Canada, so you got to remember to call them in the morning. Okay, if you have Club Runner for your club, download the app, because when you have it on your phone, you've got all of the information right there on your phone. Your member's phone number, address, email address, and when they joined Rotary. So if you need to contact people, it's on your app. So go to the App Store or Google Play Store. But really convenient to have that app on your phone. Okay, so wanted to go into bulletins because there were some people who wanted to do bulletins, but this is if you have Club Runner. So I want to stop here. Are there any questions on what we covered already, or anything I didn't cover? You have questions?
Yeah, Naomi, the slides aren't moving. They're not rotating.
They're not? Oh, what are you seeing?
Just the budget items?
Oh. Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, are you seeing this one? The Club Bulletin Creator?
Yep, perfect.
Okay. Oh, I see you now, Carl. I didn't see your face before. Okay. So I will email everybody this PowerPoint so you can have it, to refer to later on, and I will also post it to the president and officer page. But how many of you are on Club Runner for your club?
I am.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Are you?
I am.
I have a
Would
question.
you? Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm a little confused because it's kind of new to me. So Club Runner are individual websites for each club? Is that what that is?
Club Runner is a company that makes websites. So they make club websites for clubs and websites for districts. So if your club wanted to have a website, they can use Club Runner as their company to design their the
Okay.
website and host it. There is a fee,
Okay.
and so it's about maybe $30–40 a month for their service. But you get a turnkey website where you just plug in your details, but all your member information gets loaded automatically.
Okay,
So a
so I
lot of
have a
great
question
information.
about, I
Hmm.
have a question because, all right, as we just found this out, because, we are a new presidency and everything. Our domain just expired. We just found this out. So
Oh no.
our Rotary Club of Maui, as of July 17th, I think it was. And anyway, so it's not appearing, Rotary Club of Maui. So we just found this out Saturday. And so we're trying to we found the guy who has an old member who has the information that we need to get our domain back. But can you answer, do we have to have a separate website, a club runner, or can we just use the district?
Okay, if
The
you're
website,
using the district, it's not a website. You're only going to have a page. And so
just
you're
a
not
page.
having the
So,
robust information about your projects and getting all the stories
okay.
in. If you
Okay,
wanted
we
to
need,
have Club Runner,
yeah.
you can
Yeah.
contact Club Runner and tell them about your domain name. And you can, if
Oh,
you want, you can
yeah.
transfer your domain name ownership to them. Because that's what we do for the district. We transferred our domain name to Club Runner because they will keep track of those renewal dates and make sure that we get renewed so we never lose it. And then when they bill us,
Oh,
they bill us for it.
Yeah.
Say again?
Okay, so transfer the domain ownership to Club Runner. Because it went to a member that's not a member of our club, and he was trying to get in touch with somebody that it was going to expire, but nobody ever got back to him because
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and so
I
that's the
don't.
beauty of having Club Runner. They'll keep track of your expiration dates.
Okay, that's good to know because we're right in the process of doing that right now, figuring it out. So
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Club Runner on the club side has a lot of great features, and one is doing the bulletin. So it has this thing where it has templates, and so you just kind of create your own bulletin. You can make it different styles with different columns, and you can put stories in it. It's really easy once you get the hang of it. But what you do is you sign in to the Club Runner website. You click on Bulletin, then Manage Bulletins, and then Create. So once you create, it's going to come up with this thing. You choose what template you want to go. You drag where you want your stories to come up. So, for instance, if you wanted to put your list of officers on one side, or your club information on one side, and then you get the stories on another side. It's really easy to create that bulletin, and then you send it. So let me, yes.
I'm in there. This is Carol. I'm in there right now. And on club menu, I see club members, club executives, club stories, club events, my club, club listing, district executives, district stories. I don't see anything about bulletin. Where can I find the bulletin?
On the top navigation bar, horizontal bar. Do you see it?
No, I'm not seeing that. I'm just not seeing it. Can you open it?
Okay, so I'm going to go to the West Honolulu website. Do you see West Honolulu Rotary?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to log in. So you logged in, right, to your club website?
Where I am, I just went to Club Runner.
Okay, so you need to do it on your club website.
Oh.
So
okay.
if you're in the district website, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I'm not on any website. I just have it on my phone, so I went to it on my phone.
Oh, okay. So is that for your club, though?
Okay. So I just need to go to my club website and find it there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm in my club website. It's Rotary, WestHonoluluRotary.com, and I logged in, and so here's that bulletin button.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to click bulletin, then manage bulletin. Okay. So now I can
That's great. Thank you.
create.
I was there. That's great.
So you click on create bulletin.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here you put in the title. So test. Okay. And then I want this template. So I'm going to click there, go to next. Okay, so here's the template, and I can say I want I want different things to go in here. So I can say put I can drop into here the stories or the calendar or anything that you see on this side. You can drop into these widget things. So let's go to an article. You drop it in here. So that's an article. You can change the look of it with a sidebar. You can play around it. As long as you don't publish it, you can play around and see how it looks and put in stories.
Oh, that's great.
It's
Thank
so,
you.
yeah, so easy to put in different.
Where's the bulletin button again?
Okay, so we went to. Let me go back. Okay, so when you log in on the navigation bar right here, bulletin.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Got it, yeah.
Okay, then go to manage bulletins and then create a bulletin.
Okay.
Okay, so when you create a bulletin, you have a title, yeah, and then you're going to, you can have it visible on the website, or you can have it where it's private and you have to log in. Okay, then you're going to create, choose a template on how you want it to look. Or you can, if you want to have the same template every month, you can just choose a prior template and just change out the stories. So you don't have to create the new one each time.
Naomi,
Yes.
it's like a kind of a once a month, something you do once a month, and is it like this one page, and it's online?
Okay, you can do it once a week, once a day, as you know, whatever you decide to do. So if you do it once a month, most people do it, most clubs do it once a, well, no, I take it back. Our club does it every week. So we put the bio of the speaker on there, any upcoming events. So our bulletin will have the list of the officers, the calendar, and the stories on it. So someone has to create those stories every time so that you have fresh content every week.
And do people read it? Do the members read it online?
Yes. So when they get the email, the bulletin will be right on the email. They don't have to click on anything. They get the email with the bulletin in the body of the email.
Oh, okay.
And so when you send out the email, you can choose who you're sending it to. You can send it just to your board. You can send it to your friends of the club, or you can send it to honorary and active members. You choose how you want to send that email out. So it's a group email, yeah? So people who, all of your members are already identified.
Yeah.
So you just click one button and it goes to all of your members.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thanks.
really easy to do. The hard part is getting the stories. Yeah. So what I would suggest is getting your officers, your club people, editors, reporters to do stories and then drop it into the story library. So the story library sits there until you choose where to put that story. So if you want it in your bulletin, you choose that story, stick it into the bulletin, choose that story, stick it into the bulletin, or put it on your home page. So you would, for stories, there's a edit stories button on your admin page, and then you create your story. Okay?
Great. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I think we covered a lot of stuff, bulletins, stories. Any other questions? It's almost 4 o'clock.
This has been good.
Thank you.
This
So
has been
anytime,
Very good.
if you want to see a webinar on how to create the bulletins or different formats, different colors, there is a webinar on Club Runner that you can watch at your convenience on how to create those bulletins or how to put in stories or how to manage. There's so many webinars on there that, you know, you can always look and see how to do things, and it's really simple. You know, my son does YouTube. This is kind of like the YouTube. Okay. If you need more help, I can do a one-on-one with you. So call me up, and then we'll walk through the steps on your website. If you want to get a Club Runner website for your club, you can call Club Runner and get more information. And then they can help you design that whole website. For Beth, for Honolulu Sunset, how did you transfer, Beth? How did you transfer all of the things from your old website to the new one? Okay, maybe she's not there. So
I have another
Honolulu,
question.
okay. Honolulu Sunset had a lot of stuff on their old website. You can pay Club Runner like $150 for 4 hours to transfer it all to Club Runner. Laura?
Hey,
Okay, so
here's Beth.
I need to.
Oops, wait.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Beth. Laura?
Yeah, I'll go. I just need to get Eric Kaler's email address. I have to fill out a form.
Okay.
And how do I do that?
Okay, I have his I have his email address right here. Do you see his email address on the screen?
Oh, okay, E. Kaler. Okay, E. Kaler.
Okay. Beth? Beth, you have something?
Yeah. What we
Okay,
did,
I got it.
okay, when we transferred from Club Wizard to Club Runner, we just contacted Club Wizard, and then Club Runner left like a Dropbox where we can put all the items that we wanted transferred, and there was a fee for it, but it was worth it.
Okay. Yeah, Club Runner is very accommodating, and they can take care of a lot of things. So if you don't, you want to have something special and you need them to design a website for you that's creative, they can do it for you. But if it's something outside of the norm, then there may be a charge. Okay. Other questions? No? Okay.
No.
Thank you, everybody. And
Thanks,
if you have
Naomi.
any questions, please feel free to call. Open door
Thank you so
anytime.
much, Naomi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Naomi. That's great.
You're welcome.
Yes, it was great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Bernard.
Naomi.
Yeah.
What's
Wait, hold
your,
on. Let me
what's
stop
your
recording.
phone number? What's your phone
Wait.
number?